Welcome back. Thank you so much for being so patient. We just needed to do another technical setup. So we have again our presentation mode for the last part of the conference. And we are not quite at the end yet, so please stay with us. I would like to welcome back now Giorgio Prisa, the president of Major Cities of Europe, for some insights. What were your impressions? What are your key takeaways from all these three, very interesting days?
No.
No. I suppose it's to me to start, Stephanie, or?
I asked already the question, what were your impressions and what are your key takeaways from the 3 days of the conference?
Yes, impressions, very positive impressions. This is not only for me, it comes from the participants. We had many feedbacks that were extremely positive, a lot of interest. Just some figures to tell you about what happened. We had got almost 550 registrations at the conference. We had each morning about 200 participants that were logged in, were active. Of course, not everybody is interested in every morning, so 200 people means a lot. And also in the webinars in the afternoons were a little bit more detailed, focusing specific projects. We had about 60 to 70 participants, which overall showed really a high interest. Now, about feedbacks, just one request to the participants. It would be very nice if you would like to do that, and very useful for us to know something more about what you think in a very informal way. Just send an email or to the organization. Was it useful? Did you enjoy it? If not, please say it. What did you like more? What did you like less? What would you suggest to improve? This is very important. And your comments in general. Do you feel that this is like any other conference, or do you feel you were somehow in a special one? This would be very interesting for us to understand. And whatever you would like to say is welcome. Send us emails, and we will highly consider what you think about what we did. And overall, as I said, yes, very satisfied. I personally, I had the impression that really everybody was very on top of all the topics we heard about, and great speeches and so on.
And if people missed anything, maybe you can remind them where they can get all the information that's necessary for them, maybe to pick up something if they weren't able to be present for all 3 days.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we used to publish everything openly to anybody online. So it will take a few days to collect all that, but we are planning to publish all the handouts, the speakers' profiles, the recording of the sessions, and all this will be published on the conference webpage, www.majorcities.eu, and it will be available for anybody that is interested. Again, you can download it, you can listen to it, and you can be very active also after the conference if you wish. If you wish to send us comments, do it. I would like to say a few words about how we organize this and the teamwork. So maybe you have been astonished to see people from Greece, people from Italy, people from other countries that had been working together as a team. So the team really worked very hard to make the conference possible and successful. And I would like to make some very special thanks to the municipality of Larissa for its overall support, to the organizing committee of Major Cities of Europe that oversee the content, the quality, and the organization of the conference. Many thanks to our moderator, Stephanie Dreyer, and the chairs, Paolo Boscolo, Martin Ferguson, and Oliver Schwab. Really an excellent leading team. And thanks to Alpha Marketing, the Greek agency with whom we have teamed to achieve these results. Excellent work. And let me thank especially Mina Toledo, who did really a great work to organize all that together with Tassos, of course. And last but not least, many, many thanks to the speakers who took their time in preparing excellent presentation and to made them and took the time to discuss with us. And I hope they also enjoyed what they learned from each other. And last point, many thanks to the participants. So many and so active, really a pleasure to host you.
Georgia, I just wanted to check with you because Larissa has been a perfect host for the virtual edition, but you can also tell us that we hopefully have the next conference with a live audience again.
Yes, exactly. We call this this session we are in now the Bridge to Next Year Conference. Now, a bridge is a bridge, which means it connects one point to the other point. And we are now going to start the preparation of next year conference. It will be in Larissa, it will be in person, it will be in May. The ideal time frame for having a conference in Larissa, the ideal location in Greece, you will learn more about it later on from my friend George Schultis, the deputy mayor. And let me say, this year we have just scratched the surface. I mean, we have got a digest of leading examples, very good ones, but let's say it is the scratching the surface. It was about local government transformation. It was about green transformation. It was about cybersecurity just a few minutes ago. It was about skills and leadership. What our bridge is this opens the way to the next year conference. Our plan is to expand this year content by exploring each after of the overall example we had this year and identifying the many new areas in which we must get more information, more examples, and so on. So it will be more in the tradition of Major Cities of Europe conference, 2 full days and 2 half days together. It will be with main session and parallel sessions, and it will be in a very nice place, but this is not to me to explain. It will become later with George Schultis. So I have a call again for the 2021 participants. Please tell us what you think about this idea of having this bridge, and please suggest the topics you would like to be included next year. And maybe if you have an interesting proposal, why don't you propose topics and speakers together? Your contribution will be much appreciated. Please come to us and tell us what and contribute to next year conference.
Giorgio, if people are saying the conferences are great, but maybe I would also like to become more active in Major Cities of Europe, how can they become members before next year in May? They are coming maybe with us to Larissa.
Well, they can become members whenever they want, even tomorrow morning if they want, if they wish. Even Saturday is welcome. Now, this is just a joke, but I'm serious at the same time. Among the 550 registrations to the conference, we had many and majority of local governments, many universities and research centers, and we are very interested about their contributions because they are the ones who really dig into the problems, understand what they are, and do pilots to share, to simulate and understand how things work. So we are very keen to get more innovative people in our team, and so. At the conference, many of the 550 were members, many were not members. So I'm addressing this to the ones that are not members. So the conference, of course, is one of the main activities we do, but on top of it, we do webinars. We have a community. The cybersecurity that we have heard about in the previous panel, it is not only presentations. No, no, no. This is a community working together every week in discussing the topic of high interest to them. So this is something we have inaugurated this year. And I have in mind that this could be extended to other topics. The other added value we provide to our members is about EU projects. We have the collaboration with what we call an EU project evangelist. This is Matteo Satta. He's a top expert in these topics, and we are keen to support through him our members in gathering the teamwork that is necessary to submit answers to the calls of the European Commission, to build partnerships, and to develop all that in a way that it will be much easier for our members to participate to the EU project, create consortium, and make dissemination through the major cities of Europe. That's what we did again this year through the many EU projects that have been presented. And we also partner with other organizations like Socket in the UK, which are very similar to us. And we learn a lot from them, and they also learn from us. So this is for our members, and it will be very welcome if we get more. So in the next few days after the conference, next week, I will send to all the local governments, universities, research centers, etc., that are not members, some documentation about who we are. And I hope that many of them will come back to me saying, we would like to know more. I will be pleased to call them, have a chat, and hopefully convince them that it's worthwhile becoming member. This is what I have in plan. Don't be frightened. I will not bother you if you are not interested. No problem. You can participate anyway to our next year conference in Larissa. This will be open again, like this year.
Thank you so much, Giorgio, for your insights and also inviting us all to be members of Major Cities of Europe and also coming to the conference.
Thank you.
We would like to now also invite, of course, our host for next year. Larissa has been a perfect host for this year, for the virtual edition of the annual conference, and will be even a better one next year when we can all meet in person and experience the wonderful Greek hospitality and countryside. And to tell us a little bit more about Larissa, I would like to welcome now George Sultis to the screen. He is the Deputy Mayor of Larissa and in charge for the operational planning and technical works, and he will present to you Larissa's approach of becoming a sustainable and smart city. So, Mr. Sultis, your time to shine.
Γεια σας. Καταρχήν, να απολογηθώ που επέλεξα να...
First of all, apologies for speaking in Greek, but my English is not that good to communicate with you. Nevertheless, I am very happy this very moment that we had the end of a very successful conference. And I would like to thank all of you on behalf of the mayor and the municipality, Giorgio, Priester, and the network, all the people of the network for the honor to host this exceptional conference. I would like to thank Stephanie. Hopefully we'll meet you in person next May. And all, of course, the speakers for their exceptional presentations. We look forward to meeting you in person in Larissa in May next year, and hopefully that conference will be also successful. My presentation will be brief and concerns to show you what we try to do in the last 10 years in Larissa. Larissa is a city of 200,000 people in the center of Greece. It is in the center of Thessaly, of the region of Thessaly, and a very old city. In the 8,000 years of its life, Larissa is always there, present next to Pinos River. This presentation about what we do in Larissa in the past 10 years has been prepared by me as Vice President for the technical works, and Mr. Diamandos, Vice Mayor for urban planning and for the smart systems. So, shall we start with the presentation?
Yes, please.
Larissa,
up until the end of the 19th century, was a medieval Ottoman city. During the Second World War, 1943, was totally destroyed due to bombarding and an enormous earthquake in 1943. Since that time, the city developed as all other Greek cities and all other European cities. In the 60s and 50s, the cities in Europe were striving to recover and rebuild on the ruins of the Second World War. In the 80s and 90s, the trend was to have pedestrian streets in the historical centers. As of 2000 onwards, most cities started thinking the sustainable mobility. Those are some photos back from the 60s, Larissa, Thessaloniki, and Ceres. Those pictures demonstrate how everything changed in early 70s, Athens and Thessaloniki. And again, today, where cars prevail everywhere. So our effort is to remove cars from the narrow streets of the city by putting forward a sustainable urban mobility plan. So this plan involves specific points. We want to have a more people-friendly center, control the use of cars, not only totally eliminate it outside our city, but to come to a compromise and combine bicycles and cars. In other words, we want the center of the city to become as the neighborhoods used to be in the 50s and 60s. Well, this shall impact the noise levels and the pollution of our city together with the consumption of energy. In the way we experience it, and I do know the situation as deputy mayor, this is a very hard and difficult endeavor. Every day for the past 7 years that I'm deputy mayor in the municipality of Larissa, I receive angry people putting forward the questions that you can go through on the slide. Where do we park? How shall we be served back home? How will I get back the supplies home? How shall I go to the doctor? And many more other questions that indeed indicate that we need to change our mentality if we wish to live in a different environment and urban landscape. The urban mobility plan can put forward answers because it is a well-designed plan. The traffic is under scientific elaboration. There are European networks that are there to help us towards this direction. And possibly all the above wouldn't be possible unless we had the smart applications, smart cities applications, which shall be playing a very important role once this project is implemented. Larissa, in the 80s, was the first city to have a large part of its center for pedestrians, free for pedestrians. The problems were very similar to what we experience today. I was very young at that time back, but I still do remember that people would get angry and they were ready to attack the mayor at that time back, which changed rapidly. And that was an enormous success of that time. And this model was applied and followed by many more other Greek cities. The time schedule, this is the time schedule more or less of our endeavor, of our effort. The entire story began in 24 with the SUMP, the Sustainable Urban Mobility Plan study, which was launched, and we followed the instructions of the planner, and the first streets to be constructed started, the construction of the first streets started in 2015. Today we got almost 30% of those, of this reconstruction ready. So 30% of those roads are given to the public. I believe most of you might know what this plan involves. Low traffic streets for the entire central area of the city. All other roads are of are given for soft mobility with parks and cycling lanes. Larissa is a flat city. In the 60s, there were many people using bicycles. And unfortunately, in the past decades, those bicycles were replaced by cars. And with our plan, we try to reintroduce bicycles, and we are expecting extraordinary and phenomenal results. This is the map of Larissa. In red, the red line the red circle is the area of implementation, the historic center of Larissa, and in the center, the ancient theater. It is clear even on the map that this area is at 1/4 of the entire surface of the city. In other words, a large surface having 5 neighborhoods. This is the implementation area. And the 5 areas, 5 neighborhoods. This is a zoom of the area. One of the drawings, they are developed in a way that cars are blocked and they can't move across. Trees, bicycles, benches, different other items. Some photos, more pictures.
Είπαμε
So,
ότι τα ψηφιακά συστήματα
digital systems play a very important role in the entire project. Those are only some of the sub-projects that are either already operable as pilots. The a smart monitoring system, the pilot operation and evaluation, the smart parking and control parking system, smart pedestrian crossings, electric charging station for the electric mobility, e-mobility. This is a study which shall be soon concluded. The entire lighting system of the city shall be changed thanks to a smart system which will allow us to control everything. All of the above, of course, need to be measured, and we've got a system under study currently which will allow us to measure, to have indicators that would help us understand whether our project is efficient and effective. And of course, the GIS, which is in continuous progress and development. Two words on the monitoring system for the pedestrianized center. It's fully automated, a smart system with cameras that can read the car plates, and this is how the bars are lifted of those cars that are recorded for access. The system is operable in half of the area of implementation for the past 4 months. We've got excellent results up until now. Access dropped by 10% in this area. And the most important is that the people are getting familiar with this new concept. Just some items of this project. This is the control room. And this is a picture of the bars blocking the access. Those that can read the plates and may allow cars to get in. We've got 43 access control points and 84 cameras for the recognition of plates. It is a project under OTE together with Cisco, a project which indeed was of high risk, was built and designed and built from scratch. And fortunately, we're having very successful signal concerning its success. And those are more details on its operation, different car categories of the people living in the center, of cars and vehicles servicing the different shops for handicapped people, different categories which can be declared in the system, and this is how access is given. The study for the control parking system will include all of the roads in the area of implementation. It is a very important sub-project which will allow us to communicate better with the citizens, those living in the city, on the center of the city. We have decided to have an AI system which can discover, thanks to its experience, the free parking lots and guides the driver. There shall be sensors for and special places for the loading and uploading of trucks. An illegal parking fund shall be delivered thanks to an automated system controlling the car plates.
Here you can see something which is well known. Well, we don't have them yet in our city, smart pedestrian crossings. We're just building them. These days we have finished with the study for the electric chargers. We will have throughout the city 180 chargers. Overall, the points have been selected and the project will start soon. And we have the first electric cars at the service of the municipality and the first bus, local bus, which is electric one and operating in Larissa, very successfully welcomed by the citizens. As all cities, we do try to upgrade the street lighting and replace it with LED and energy system, energy saving systems. We have already changed 7,000 lamps. The whole city has more than 30,000. The most important thing here is that there is a central energy control system that will allow you to measure the consumption and change the lighting when it's not needed. This study regarding the indicators for the evaluation of all our interventions to the environment, noise pollution, light pollution. We do have it underway with the University of Thessaly. And hopefully soon, this project will finish. Last but not least, is our effort to have all these networks included in a GIS system. Well, we do not bring coal to Manchester, but for the condition that that Larissa experienced is almost innovative. In the last 7 years, we've been implementing these systems. The results are impressive. The citizens agree earlier are now very pleased after 3 years of operation of the whole project, the whole work. I believe that that is what I want to share with you. You will be able to visit a lot of what I have already described in May when you visit us. Well, I think that all those mayors in the future and vice mayors will continue this work. It is a vision, and hopefully all our descendants will follow. We will be pleased to show them in person when you visit us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Soltis, for the invitation. And I think we are so eager to see firsthand all these smart solutions that you just mentioned in the presentation. So we are really looking forward to the conference next year. Before we close, first of all, I would like to thank again all our panelists and speakers from all 3 days for their contributions and insights. I hope you all enjoyed our conference. It was a real pleasure being your host. You were a fabulous audience. Thanks to all the helping hands visible or behind the scenes, especially for the technical support. A big shout out to Panos, Nina, and Tassos, who were the backbone of the setup for this conference. And of course, again, a big thank you to you all for joining and participating. Stay safe, stay healthy, so that you can visit Larissa next year, and please join us at the conference. So goodbye, see you again next year. Sas efaristume ku semetahite, tariosas taleme to chrono.